Hello, my name's Lynda and I'm from a church in Truro called City Life Church, and for a while we're going to think about the world. I wonder, what's your favourite part about the world? What do you like? Well, we're going to think about the world, about the story that there is in the Bible. Now, the Bible is the Christian's special book, and the story about how the world was made is the first thing that you'll find in any Bible. You know, Bibles can look really different. I mean, this Bible's got lots of pictures on it, but you can get Bibles that have just got words. You can get big, huge Bibles like you'd find at the cathedral in their big pulpit, or you can get tiny Bibles that people put in their bags, all different colours, all different sizes. But whatever Bible you find, the first words in the Bible, it will say, "In the beginning." And it's the first story that you'll find about how God, Christians believe, how God made everything in the world and everything in the universe. So let me share with you the story that you'll find in the Bible. In the beginning, it was dark. There was absolutely nothing. If you shut your eyes really, really tight, it was darker than that. Open your eyes now. It was darker than that. You couldn't see anything. In fact, you'd probably be walking into things. Okay, so the first thing the Bible tells us that God made were the planets. But it was so dark, you couldn't see them. So the next thing God made was light. So he made the sun and the moon and the stars. Okay. So there was light. And God said, "This is good." The Bible then tells us that God made the sky. Look out of the window now. What's the sky like today? I wonder, is it sunny? Is it raining? Are there lots of clouds in the sky? What's it like today where you are? There we go, we've got some clouds in our sky. So God made the planets, and he made the sun and the moon and the stars, the light, and then he made the clouds and the sky, and he said, "This is good." The next thing that God created, that God made, was the land. So we've got mountains and hills and valleys and parks and trees and rocks and beautiful plants. I wonder, do you like flowers? What's your favourite flower? I wonder what colour it is. I've got some pink ones here, look. There we go. Flowers are beautiful, aren't they? Have you ever smelt a flower really close? Go, they're just so lovely, aren't they? The scent that you get from flowers. So God made the planets, and then he made the light, the moon, the stars and the sun, and then he made the skies and the clouds and everything we see out of our windows. And then he made the land, all the trees and the rocks and the mountains and the hills and the valleys and the flowers, all of the things that we walk on and that we see and that we enjoy. And God said, "This is good." The next thing that God made was the sea. Oh, we live so close to the sea, don't we? We live so close. I wonder, have you been to the sea? Wonder if it was a rough day when the waves are really crashing, or whether it was a smooth, calm day and you could just paddle and have lots of fun. I wonder what it was like at the seaside. I wonder what it's like at the seaside today. So God made the sea and the planets and the sun and the moon and the stars and the clouds and the earth and the mountains and the hills and the valleys and the trees and the flowers, and he said, "This is good." The next thing that God made was all the things that swim in the sea. I wonder if you have a favourite thing that swim in the sea. Let's see if we've got some of them here. So look what we've got. We've got a shark. I don't think I'd like to meet a shark in the sea, but I wouldn't mind seeing one in the sea. Oh, look, we've got lots of shells. Here we go, look, some shells on our beach. It's nice to collect shells, isn't it? All the shells, all different. Oh, we've got a ray here. Now you often find the rays, they're very good at hiding, aren't they? Underneath, in the sand. You can't often spot a ray. And then we've got some turtles, some little turtles. You know, Lynda went on holiday once to Australia, all the way round the other side of the world. And on one night we went onto a beach. It was a really long beach. And when the sun started to go down, suddenly all these little turtles, there was hundreds and hundreds of them, and they all came running down the beach and splashing in the sea. It was amazing to see. Oh, we've got a seal. There we go. Got a seal. Oh, look. And then there's a lobster. There we go. A lobster. Oh, and crabs. We'll hide the crab under the shell. There we go. Crabs. And another crab. Oh, this is Lynda's favourite. A seahorse. I love seahorses. So, God made the planets, and he made the sun and the moon and the stars and the clouds and the sky and the earth and the rocks and the valleys and the hills and the trees and the beautiful plants and the flowers and the sea and everything that swam in the sea. And he said, this is good. But it was really quiet. There weren't anything there apart from the things swimming in the sea. So the next thing that God made were the animals. I wonder if you have a favourite animal. I've got some here. Here we go. We've got the elephant, the huge elephant. There we go. We've got the elephant and we've got a lion. There we go. I don't think I'd like to meet one of them, would you? There we go. A lion and a zebra and a horse. Maybe some of you have been on a horse. It's great fun going on a horse, isn't it? Oh, and a polar bear. Oh, it's not quite cold enough at the moment, is it, for a polar bear? But a polar bear, lots of animals, a little cub. Oh, and a cow. Our farm animals, a cow and a pig. That's it. And maybe you've got one of these at home, a dog. A dog. That's it. And also, God then created all the birds that fly in the sky. Try and put that on the tree. There we go. There we go, the bird up the tree. So God made the planets and the moon and the stars and the light and the sky and the clouds and the earth and the valleys and the mountains and the hills and the trees and the plants and the flowers and the sea and everything that swims in the sea and all of the animals. And he said, this is good. And then God thought, but who's going to look after everything that I've created, everything that I've made? And this is the amazing thing. The next thing that God made, that God created, was somebody called Adam. And Adam was the first man that God made. And Adam started to look after everything that God had made. But after a while, Adam was a little bit lonely. Where shall we put him? There by the polar bear? That's it. So then God made a lady. And her name was Eve. And God said to Adam, Adam, you look after everything that I've made and you can name all of the animals. That was a big job, wasn't it, for Adam to do? So Adam and Eve looked after everything that God had created. He'd made the planets, the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, the clouds, the earth with the mountains and the hills and the rocks and the trees and the plants and the beautiful flowers and the sea and everything that swims in the sea and the animals. And then he made Adam and Eve. He made man and woman. And then after making Adam and Eve, God said, this is very good. So that's the story, the first story that you'll find in the Bible. Let me just quickly show you the pictures before we ask some questions about why looking after the world is so important. There we go. Look, in the beginning, it was completely dark. There was nothing at all. Really, really dark. And there we got some light. And there's our clouds in the sky. And then we've got all of the trees and plants and beautiful things that God created. And then all the things that were swimming in the sea. And then all the animals. And there's Adam too, looking after all of the animals. There we go. Okay, I wonder, which part of creation, which part of the world do you enjoy the most? I wonder if you like the animals or the sea or all the planets or the universe or the stars. I wonder what you did like the best. So another question is, I wonder if any part of creation was left out, what would happen? So if the animals weren't created, what would happen? If there wasn't any sea, what would happen? If Adam and Eve hadn't been made by God, what would happen? I wonder. So God asked Adam and Eve to look after the world and everything that God had created. I wonder, why does it matter that we look after the world today? And how could you look after the world? So it's really good, isn't it, to talk about all the amazing things that we have in our world and how important they are and how we can look after it. You know, it's really good to think about it every day, about how we can look after the world that we live in, whether it's something small that we can do or something big that we can do. Because we live in an amazing place, don't we? And every day we can look out the window, or we can go to school, or we can go out to play. Wherever we are, we can look at the world that we live in and we can say, this is good.